Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. Mema obi bia kwaba. Eba yedwumedi a every Friday bia yede bremo. Enen so adom ne ahwe ye nti no yenya ahoɔden na yede bremo. A very special month your friend Love Month. Emo ne we ne 2nd of February 2024. Na kyerɛ sɛ yira February mu pa na obia kyerɛ dɔ enti no saa na mɛkɔ so asrɛ mo sɛ onya baa so akyerɛ wo dɔ by sharing the program, subscribing to our YouTube channel, na afei nso no like page no na monyɛ active wɔ so sɛ wohwɛ wɔ Facebook at least comment na tapo like ne love sign symbols no wɔ YouTube nso a share, keep on sharing na yɛhu sɛ ampa mo dɔ program no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a yɛn nso a yɛde ba debia Thursday, Friday and Saturday no yeah bemu embu esan se gidi se adofo dodo na na ehwe ye enen nso me mo bibia akwa aba ankrankra bia wa ba fidie so nyina me ma mo nyina akwa aba na mesere se mo ba so ambo moden na mo nhye enen nso ye kofare aba ya akwa kofa aba de bia ye ba ya nkoma emu ohwam nkoma etete nkrofo nkoma nkrofo dwene ho edi ho ebubo ne ya pensem mu ne de aba na ye nso ya bekire ya dwene wa ha na lawyer nso de ninim dia esombo sei senior omoye ne de bia na ono nso de abrɛ ye na yetumi egina so de etu anamon enti ene adom ne nti no yenya yenua bema yempene ye teacher ba ko pɛ eye lawyer Asmah enche bia me introduce no na ono nso de nchi akɛse abama obi biara na mmom ansa na obeba no mesrɛ enimdie bomode ana share program ye ba. It's like we keep begging people to share the program and yes a patrona na yen then mmom the importance of this benefit what program mu ntina yesrɛ sɛ moba share na obi nso enye bi me nua ba teledumanya me enka onya me nhyira no pay say wetie na wo keep on sharing na wo frɛfrɛ adom say omo nso emba mbɛhwɛ na agema wo hɔ a yitie wo Margaret do mensa mo nyina mo wɔ he mombra Michael Bam Fred Amwa mo nyina mombra na mombetie na mon keep on sharing na se ne be adodo na ebenya fahodie ɛwɔ asɛm a yɛde brɛ mo no enti meto nsa afrɛ me nua bɛma me lawyer ba ko pɛ Sir Charles na ɔmfa nchiakɛseɛ embɛma etiefoɔ na afedie yɛnhwɛ edwumadie ne se ne ɛbɛkɔ na yɛnfa mo nka ho na yɛnyina yɛnkɔ lawyer Charles mpatwa mama akɔ aba
Yenua atwapo mo
adom nko a papa me ho ye we de me ma akwanya na fa nhwea mu ohwam ema etiefoɔ ne ahwɛfoɔ na anopɛ mo ho sɛ yɛdɔ mo yie enti na yɛaba yɛde saa program yi ɛbrɛ mo pacho wadaroma koso
yo etiefo ne ahwɛfoɔ ɛnɛ efie da no pɛi anso yɛde nkyɛ kase efi BWF Solicitors asɔyɛ Ebrewo baby bira wo biara Sarah and so and then I would see away fidie so no dia dance said you made no etwa so. And then so you besua de bebre akoye nim tituru nea edi nkwalaa ye pese ye ne won ba abochire enya na mpo mo bedu airport wa na nea akoba ne se o ma cancel o mo visas na akoya asem bebre eno so ye bedi hu enkommo. Enti na ye can say the month of February is the month of love. Love that only comes from the Supreme Being, genuine love, unconditional love. So, in this period of love, we are praying for all those who are destitute. We are praying for all those who are in imminent destitution. We are praying for all those who are in war-torn countries. We are praying for leaders of all countries in the world that they will have love, make the right decisions and policies. We pray for all employees, all employers, that they will have love and make the right decisions for everybody so that together we'll have a better place to live on earth.
Yo, we the work to have a better place to live on earth. Anka you show love anka seni anyoma eko wiase mu sisi anka abrasi bebre na ye de do na ebodomu. Lawyer Charles Medas ye. Yo, seni etie no ye de dwumede no ahyase ne ye be ne se ye be kansamfo akakra na afei ye be hwe ye update aba system no ye hwe this week anyoma bebre abane na nsanko ampo no parliament atena say akekan komadwin de akyere yen ne nyina eka update ne ho a mema lawyer Charles epensen mu kakra de amaye na afede eduru ho a nyoma eda na akwemu se wo se ye no se ye behwe this year egusua ebo de ro say fiti ena to March ending no insisa bebre na ekoso nsese wo anamuntu bi abomode na tu ne ntem ansa na March no abawiye sanso na ye besre se wenya wodi ase ne asika ye tutututu mu yi de bomodia akonya yem papa penny lawyer Bernard or the insem kakra etututu dwa se applications aye tutututu mu yi entwen se ye ntumu ansa na mom America kra da wenim se o se odi renew a bomodia na to anamon sisi ase na ebe ya eka na yedi bebre eka ho no enka de bia ya keka nsem yi na yenim se dodo na nso etu anamo enti yebekọ yenim na yetie ne se de bia ye tu kwan na ye applications amaye ma yebedu na yepese ye mane beka ye ho a one thing leads to another bohu na ye see ye twem ya cancel ya yesi ene no na yebeka ho asem na ansa na yebeka no ho asem no mesre lawyer Charles say na otwi mu update e bay ombebo kakra nkyere because ama dodo na yem hihye omo den na yemfa wom den na ye ignore den na yemfa nto anamom na yehu say we are also updating ourselves when it comes to the law pacho wadaroma lawyer Charles.
Yo, nia ewomu no ene se so nia Andra Uncle Ben a church mu no. We are not going to re-echo everything, but it is important for us to take note of two key points.
Okay.
Point one, and there is 2nd of February 2024. 3 days time will be 5th of February 2024. That will be the end of £1,560 fee we pay for IHS for immigration application, especially 2.5 applications, So we require extension and now say we require application for the first time, Until so application yeah, yes, so normally no people say until say 1 year na media no be wukra metum da chimu ana it's a common sense approach. 1 year is too long or far. 3 months cool. 4 months cool. So if yours is expiring in May, March, April, you can put it in. Then you can beat that 1,000 plus difference na abano. And so. That's a will application for the first time there. Then we'll encourage you to put it in this week before the by 5th of February so that you can beat that automatic £1,000 plus now air cost run because you are not waiting for any extension. What you are doing for the first time. Sarah also the say Parliament. I can say those skilled worker migrants UK no those under occupation code 6145 general carers no and then 6146 na senior carers no so wo mu dadade a enka wo family members and say wo dependents there they are covered because the presumption would have been that once you came in, you would have come with them. And therefore, if they are yet to come, they can join you. That was the initial expectation based on policy by. Unfortunately, it appears they've taken a different approach where they are now generalizing it to say by 11th of March, dependent of skilled worker migrants will not be able to join. So what is the solution? Say who dependent omo eba and I say omo beba, please put in the application now. Put in the application now. You are here, yes, but put it in now because we don't really know what Parliament is seeking to achieve at this stage. Yes, first, no, again, so are we okay? But you see, I know I'm say it's not even like that. The moment more modern to say 11th of March 2024 is the cutoff date for bringing your dependents to join you in the UK if you are on a skilled worker migrant program. Of course, students, dear you say a chum, student a chum. Number so we a student PhD or student research program for 2 years, 3 years. Wobetumi the dependent aba still. And I say, oh yeah, doctorate degree. It was a doctorate, you know, your doctor of philosophy, and you have a PhD, and you have doctor the third program. And it could be any doctoral program, including PhD, plus any research program, MPhil, MRes, and all akeke kahono. No, you can bring your dependents because you are going to pursue the course for more than a year, at least 2 years plus. So you are still allowed to bring your dependents. If you are in the UK, no way to CS ewu anaasɛ woawie wo course no a wotwɛn wo certificate anaasɛ wo graduation a the moment a woawie wo course no admission letter no say up to this point sɛ point no adu nko adeɛ a na kyerɛ sɛ the course has completed. In this case you can go ahead and apply for graduate scheme application anaa nso sɛ wobɛtumi aswitche ama no ayɛ yie if you are the main student. If you are a student dependent there, you can switch at any time. There's no restriction. So that is the bit for today.
Yo, lawyer Charles, yeah, that's home office for we be say omunia tipa o. Hey, home office just say ope akwenye bia obeya. Obetwetwe twa nkrofo anantim na se ne etie bia ne nti na ewo lawyers wo ho no me de me gidi say ne omo ka nyina no still akwenya bi bededa ntokro bi mu a eno de yentumi hu tisi etu ho anamo ansa enti na say wo situation ti sen na ti sen na ti sen abomode akọhu lawyers no omo adwuma omo die no ebi wo ho a omo tumi even test the law na omo ahwe na omo de obi hu fato ho nsem bi etwam na omo de abata ho obehu na wo de no so afa na afa wo de no so ye de abe case work na ye de so say enti no don't just sit down and say all is lost, all is gone. No. But modiane to anamo nako BWF Solicitors. Say na situation tie biara, just point it out to them. Na me did say omenya solution ken e the amount. Afe no aka ye ho afe no adwene ya. That's BWF Solicitors legal hour with Manyeti. And also egu so aye kase na me did say wenya beto aye ndie bomodia na share program no like the page and subscribe to our YouTube channel no. Say na be ya yibenyini na yakoye nim. And here me pa say ube active wo Facebook na so nti tap like any share no any you can say love one say me dem me love and at this time so no we are in the month of love and laughter. So if you see me laughing too much, don't be surprised. You say I don't know by way or seriously. I'm just expressing my love and through my laughter. Enti sanet here. Yebeko yenim yen kasa bebre. Lawyer Asmah. Your main topic and that's any update. Nanka maybe say 1 or 2 questions, but I'll rather ask it after ye yen education for today, no. sisi akra home office from on the 11th of March no all year cancellation of sorry all ma obia and dependent embeka ne ho no omo aya badada na ye wo mu no afen so na ebi mu nso ba no yen de yenya visa ne dada 11th of March na enya nto ye nti enya nto ye na chese fitie na up to before the 10th of March midnight and 11th of March midnight na deadline ni beto ye no na chese we are able and I say ye betumi aye eligible na ya invite na ya ma ye dependent ababe abeka ye ho eno ho ne ye wo ene ye ka ho asem na mbom dodo na omaye obi wo ho a waye ne dependent it could be any application but dependent waye ama ye de ama no ye de ma no ane a cancel obedu airport a ye see a cancel the dependency no afei ebi krampo a wo kwa akwaje no susu kra ye mfa ma no la asma se eba ne say na mbia ye nya de ama na ya sanse ye see a cancel and no one sem and because yenya just this month yenya about 3 or 4 people go through this program sorry this problem yeah cancel omoma any omukunum and no yerenom as dependent near cancel omo visa no said the enti no yende yenye lawyers me dem yenye lawyer anti lawyers mo na mo behu ne enti a na eba ne sa na afenso no akire ye aden si na na eba ne sa no kwan ben na ubetumi a reverse sa cancellation no this is what we are talking about until lawyer Asmah dependent before we go to the main one dependent no ubetumi a trend the categories of dependent are yet to me falling into this victim and you falling into this area yet to me cancel your visa and sane a share reverse side no pacho.
Right. Thank you. Now, it's here for the Asha4, you can say dependent. We are operating within the nuclear family system
Okay.
for the purposes of immigration applications,
Mhm.
So a dependent is somebody who depends on you
Mm.
for essential needs or for
Okay.
their sustenance.
Mhm.
Wukunu, woyere,
Mhm.
womba.
Okay.
Womba could be your biological children,
Mhm.
adopted children,
Mhm.
or step children.
Children. Okay.
So your children and your spouses are your dependents for the purposes of this conversation. I have a case study that I will chip in because it's a case that I dealt with and we succeeded without even going to jail or court.
Mm.
They pulled out before we went to court, or they pulled out before we decided to proceed
Mm.
until it's workable. But today we are looking at cancellation of leave or permission to enter. Yama visa no, and we are talking about nkwala. Yama nkwala no visa no, so oba abe join ne maame and this ne papa, especially skilled worker. My focus will be on skilled worker program no. Yeah, the amount of oba join ne o maame and this papa. And mind you, this falls within family life. Even though the focus is skilled worker or appendix skilled worker provision. Na yɛde adeɛ yɛ ama wo na wɔbɛdu airport. Na yɛaka kyerɛw sɛ yɛhu sɛ ade na yɛde maa wo no yɛyɛ mistake. Nti yɛagye afi wo nsam. So we have pre-decision and post-decision activities. Pre-decision is a wode application atum ɔkɔbɔ nsa no. Na before I make a decision no, ɔmo bɛyɛ nhwehwɛmu, ɔmo aniwa di nkitaho, na ɔmo make sure sɛ biribi ayɛ okay. Does it mean so ɔmo de ma wie ɛno ano no ana? No. They have powers to look at post-decision activities, including sɛ wɔbɛdu airport. Koraa no yɛtumi hwehwɛ mu ho sɛ mistake no a anaasɛ ade no a ɔmo de ma wo no ɛyɛ mistake. Nti yɛgye afi wo nsam anaasɛ yɛ cancel ama wo. I want you to, viewers, so you better take note of the policy because for the age must see issue on the 23rd of January 2024. So that's about last week. Now it tells them about different categories of cancellations. And where the mama me mo and go through one or two. So this is published for Home Office staff, 23rd January 2024. Published for Home Office staff, 23rd February 2024. What I will do is say, be I better say, bet you cry, I share, and I will let producer have a look and see if he can assist us with that bit. Na producer, try and one man, Emayano, will just take ourselves through what I'm talking about. And you share Home Office guidance no more about out 23rd January 2024 no or say published for Home Office staff. So this is a case working document. Now, post decision actions. Post decision actions. Say you make a decision here with some amawa then ebetumi esi ebini cancellation and curtailment so you can see that this is the version 4 or a call form who data it is 23rd of January 2024. Now we call page 3 no call page 3 no what say page 3 yeah one jina esro hono just go up a little enti ya ha jina hono mami or say part 9 cancellation grounds. Part 9 cancellation grounds no egunumu ahodo bebre say we twa ntro e wo ade animu na omo ehu na afi da we bedu airport na ehu say utwa ntro na yede ma wo ti eje afi wunsem anasa omo an ye hwehwemu yie na yede ade na ma wo na afi na we bedu airport na border fo ehu say no so omo ye hwehwemu yie anka ya mfa ma wo nti eje afi wunsem. Part 9 cancellation could be cancellation under paragraph 9.7.2, which is a mandatory cancellation. Ebe trigger ban no for 10 years. And now also said discretionary cancellation, which will fall under 9.7.1. I don't know, there will be no ban, but still I know cancel on the The words are cancellation and curtailment. Curtailment, ye chum na just say what they know and ye ejuma biem. As a some notice of curtailment or cancellation. Not just I feel their own who need be cry. Now, let's take in say omwaye nyo somebody be. And this goes for both EU and non-EU applications. But then we are focusing on non-EU applications, especially skilled worker children at Bedu Airport. Now, Omoka say, Anessa say. Pachayanko Ifomo Hokakra, the next page. So if you go down to the various cancellation, good. So I say cancellation on exclusion or deportation grounds. Into cancellation on exclusion or deportation grounds be a wo mu dada ya cancel wade no ya cancel wade na na che say as I say ya do kofie bi a wosuban enti cancellation on criminality grounds be a krono bi enti we are general staff cancellation on non-conducive grounds be a wabrabo ne ya wo mu no ene krom ha embra no enko anase ebra santi ya ma wo ni na emu a obeye ohaw ama adodo no a ewo krom ha no nti ekobasa ye twitwa wade animu na yakacha se krom cancellation on breach of immigration laws grounds. Nti breach of immigration laws grounds no just say bia immigration bra no say na wo we so yetumi e cancel wade no empo se wo krom ha. The main one no yababa so no cancellation on false representation grounds. Cancellation pacho ubetumi akofom kakra. Good. Cancellation on false representation grounds. Ehọ no na yegyina ho. Pacho take us to the page. So just click on the page 50 now. Cancellation on false representation. Go to the right and click on the 50. Until up there. And just say cancellation on false representation grounds. And so ewo. But you can see this say bebreno. This one is talking about ETA. That's the electronic way na ebano. It may be do and they are cancelled. Will then go down to the main ones now. And your electronic arrangement now mo dey ba nembom. So yama o visa na waba we bedu. Ya the visa na ma na ye we bedu abrochire. Wonim say wa lande nti we du ano no. Ɛna yɛde wadeɛ no kɔhyɛ machine no mu yɛhwɛ mu no yɛsɛ no yɛbisa wo nsɛm baako mmienu ɛna wano akɔfom anasɛ watoto akɔ paa so ɛna akɔbɛ sɛ wadeɛ no kwan a yɛfa so a yɛde maa wo no mpakyɛ wobɛtumi akɔ back to the main policy page no kwan a yɛfa so yɛde maa wo no to go back to the main content page kwan a yɛfa so maa wo no ɛmfa ɛkwan mu nti yɛ cancel adentia edikan false representation ebia na document na wode call ye no enye papa but we biti emezi ho ene wa be bedu ha emra ne say wo bedu airport wa eno nkyere say we wie the border officer has the power within the rules to investigate and to confirm say your leave was granted genuinely. In this koba say omumu say leave no man granted genuinely there which may you in same and then the cancellation, you know. They will look at what you can do. And ebi na a document na what they call no birth certificate and I say bank statement and I say COS and I say whatever what they call no a force and that's what musu say and yeah papa sana etie dia omutumi ejina so e cancel ade no ana so say information a wode maaye no wan ka no kre ni nyina ye refuse pen na wo si deebi ye refuse ye na yame adom se yame adom o se den o we beat immigration e wo MSC na wa ba bedu airport last stop there wentumi mbiti because ya chew Adentina maybe T embassy application point. Now I had there almost baby because they have the power to check and to confirm before you are allowed. So we call it entry clearance. Entry clearance. So once you get to the airport, right, as I say, you're clear and some way to me a room. But you see, there are women take a sim for our duty under the relevant provisions. Say, ekoba say, omu feel say, we can throw our baby and so omu ebo okoko. I have no minded to refuse, you know. Ni na ankoba, na wa baby do, na ya cancel wa there no, say, adea no enye papa. Then, na ube chimi aye. Edika, you know, as I said, umu who say, who take action against them. So you have to be granted bail, especially when you're akwala, you have family life. When you're okunu or you have family life. Tunipana o ba no hono. Tekwabasa, you have to be granted Secretary of State bail. Secretary of State bail ne say omo ankasa border for no ebe ma o bail say okay kofie na mbom enu ndi wiye. Ekwabasa within 7 days, you know, they have to do that. 7 days, they have to grant you Secretary of State bail. And that's why I saw Mangasa Emma Okofi. So 7 days, etrum na ya ma one kofi and that's ama bail there. You have to apply to court to seek court bail. So remember, I call court, I'm a court, I grant you bail. Now when you offer hudie akofie. So these are two bail approaches. Now yama o bail na dey just say no ano no. You be ma o cancellation notice because yama o cancellation notice there then technically what there no eye adwuma. Just say ma o cancellation notice setting out the reasons for cancellation. If you make can we say your interview who can say ya dey tutu application na we no ho no na egbe ebura santi esusu say botare a wo dey ba abo ekire ene bonya wo kan say wo dey ba no different santi yentumi emma unremu anaasɛ wo kan sɛ wo ba wo maame anaasɛ wo papa hɔ ebedu ye no na yehu ne sɛ ente saa anaasɛ document na wugina so ye ade no yehu sɛ ente saa. All those things, they have to put them together in the cancellation notice. Omama will be a section 120 or 120. Section 120 notice and as a form no ya de mawa omaka says so will be can pempreng na engine so enye na ya beye. So you make the application or you send your section 120 representation and as a argument to them. Your mouth cancellation no a moma yɛnhwɛ no nso ebetumi aba sɛ ɛda no a yɛkye wo no a yɛ detain wo no a yɛyɛ wo interview no saa da no a yɛtumi cancel anaasɛ within 7 days na yɛbɛma wo secretary of state bail no yɛtumi cancel empo ebetumi aba sɛ yɛn cancel after some time because ɔmo yɛ nhwehwɛmu enti ebetumi atake some time but the moment a woma cancel no that is the end of your leave and that is when you have to start acting. And today, and I will bet me aye.
Okay.
Yabam yo.
Yo, lawyer Asmah, senior watch mu wɔ hɔ no, yenye hu na sisi a yehu nneɛma a ebegyina so a ɛbɛba sɛ wade ɛbɛyɛ bɛ cancel. Etiefo safe no madwene a yɛwɔ legal hours so a yɛkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma BWF Solicitors ɔmo panin baako na yɛne ne di nkɔmɔ wɔ ha no. Mesrɛ mo nkɔ so na mo nhyɛ program sisi ɛba abɛka say ya cancel all the circumstances are lead to this cancellation no afei den na wo a ya cancel wo visa na wo ye dependent no den na wo beye and afei nso no wo a nipa ko a oba be depending on you wo so wo chafa ben na o say wo ye what will be your role in reversing this cancellation and no na ye ba behwe nti mesre say you do the very most important area ebeboa ye nyina na ehu ne ebeye nyoma ekokọ ba ye say ujina false documentation so when one can okra one utran we say na ne nyina has led to the cancellation no sisi ano wujina bia ne sen oho ne yedu nti mesrem monkoso anhye mo amaba so nyina nya menhra mo Margaret do good morning evangelist Gina Ansa Ado good morning Sandra Fraser papa bi osi good morning or the contacts nyina ubetumi reach it to BWF Solicitors no or the ababe guso na BWF Solicitors omo wa ha esan wo Ghana nti se wutie from Ghana na opese BWF Solicitors omo hwe wo nneoma ede ma wo wo mra se wo beba UK and any country for that matter open visa kwan obefa so de aye law family law opese wo hwe wo se opese wo todan e wo ye nkromu Ghana ho legal document or say wo hihye or say wo hu and even the investigation to the land or property or building opese wo hwe kra no na nyina BWF Solicitors omo akwanya wo ho omutumi eye saa nyoma ne de ma enti entnase na kwakloya bi ana obi keke hunu bi endi usika na onye hwe emma enra me wanwan mpo sa abroche mpo ebi wo ho if so utatie news enra say lawyer bi a owie law school all right so one graduate it say oye say ya mano law commission for amano certificate say on operate no agije nkrofo agije obro ni pete pa o waje nkrofo sika saa na omodwuma no so onye mo na ne sika na fe ya yehu ne to a yeyi na ama. It was on BBC News. So betumi akwa nti tell say your lawyers more lawyers na mekan for BWF Solicitors ama osem but modern for wasem ekonomo de uni baby omo anko ye krot me call mo o me ya ama nti Asmah afi de yenhwe nyoma wa cheche nyina obeye den na wa reverse mpacho afi na mpesa itiefo sorry na omo follow yen ye e wa ha na hia me pa mpacho cheche itio question bi wo ha maybe sir whilst you talk it
Yo. Entinia ewo mu ne se waba ana yegyina bibi so. Nia omugina so no ho anamon na wo betu.
Sir.
So there's a case I did. Nimpa no ebedu ye no ayakwala one ne papa ne maame na papa bae na oba join papa ne omame obedu airport no na wo so mususu se enye omame no nti omo fra omame omo ye interview akwala no so omo ye interview akwala no ondi 18 injina so ne se omo susu se birth certificate no e fake santi entumi mba se omame no santi wamfa kwan paso enya visa say oba as a child of a skilled worker migrant. Enti amoma no akwenya omo cancel na de no na amoma no Secretary of State bail so onko fie. Omo detain on for some hours, about 12 or so hours. And now omo gine document ni na, but mind you, there are certain documents they can take and certain documents they cannot take. Document omo take any document are link it to identity because they have to know who you are. Nti say o passport ometumi take o visa say a BRP a ometumi hold it and anything we feel say relevant but not everything but document what some na ye kan the sunny pa we na quite to say omuzu say no correct the birth certificate na akoya asem na omo de betu menim nti na say administrative review within 14 days. Na section 120 representation. Administrative review we no online. At is a way normal application. But in your application, here, but why you are doing it and why you are challenging them that they have made a wrong decision. Administrative review within the policy guidance will tell you, say, if the decision is in error, then the decision maker should be asked to remedy the error. Point out to them where they got it wrong. If you are not really feel say one policy no, so you point it out to them and you remind them and you assist them to do the right thing for you. Assistance ben na the bama won. Almost see why you say. We say when yes, sir. So you give them why you think I win here with your evidence. You don't tell them and leave the evidence out. Because evidence is the game. Then the next thing I hear and say document no as I said within 10 days, you know. As I said, omukwaji letter efi aban mu ewo Ghana eba to confirm say birth certificate, you know, a genuine because omu issue no a year before akwala no etu kwan. Meanwhile akwala no so wenyini ewo about 14-15 years. And you know most susu say akwala wenyini sa da na fi ama no birth certificate. But that is not their business. Because if it is within the policies and rules of that country in India, so be it. But the country should be able to verify, say, say, birth certificate, you know, or man confirm fit quine chain. And now acquire the point, say, as I say, parent, you know, acquire letter, edeba, verification letter, authenticating that birth certificate is genuine, issued by the births and death registry of the country concerned, and that it is verifiable and it's available on record. Omu try within the time, no omu sanka. So what I did is I have to act within that 10 days. So I put in my legal argument and told them, said, this is the case, and we are dealing with a child, and this is the policy for children. Making reference to case law, making reference to statute, and making reference to the policy guidance. But they didn't call you within 2 days. You know, much me say they have picked the argument, they have checked it, and they feel that if I go to court, they will lose. So they have raised their hands until omo di na de na mano. Document will come later. Now me see you, Mate. That is one case study. So that is how we fight the case. It is not a story say, it is not fact. It is pure law. So if you are not confident about applying the pure law, you have to look for people who are confident and can apply the pure law on your behalf.
Okay.
The next thing is say, what we do? I will interview. And I who say, yes, you say, now what can no insist so? Fi say bia oba wo yere eho. At the same time no, wo yere dada no a woni ne wo nkwala no nso. Woni no di nkita ho e ma wo bibi a kire say woni no di wo communication. Question is say oba wo yere na ojina no so your application no ho anasa wo yere dada no a woni ne wo emba no ho. So it's a dichotomy. Then they conclude and say, we don't think say we hear fufuro na woba no ho no. Oni no aware no aware pa. So you can see that this takes us to the realm of sham or marriage of convenience. So we have things that borders on birth certificate, things that borders on marriage of convenience. But because we are talking about child, I'm not going to go into the marriage of convenience per se because that has nothing to do with child dependent application.
Okay.
But suffice to say, and the marriage of convenience, the argument will also be different. Because argument, however, fighting akwalane diano will be different from argument, however, fighting marriage of convenience.
Okay.
Another one, waba say obeye program. Program no, ubedu ya no program na chum. Still a waba. Do they have the right to tell you no, you can't enter? Yes. Because program now what they buy, you know, it's a year and now we do ende. It appears say now your reason for coming is different. It's a common sense approach. And no, because a visit approach and it's a visit application and it's an entry into a better thing say we imagine human rights so a fight to a case. That it's woman share and also and so. Obi so a oba abajone ne maame se oya akwala se na ye ka nkwala asam no. Ba bia na maame no kra no omeduye akwala no asan ne ho aba. Na se o maame meduye na asan ne ho aba de a ende o ba ba edan. Woman share and also and so. But se koba nkwala application we rely on the best interest of the child. Wo and I was to say winjindi, but it doesn't mean say in some no akwala no kan one application no mu no anya no kre. Wo and I was say birth certificate no winjindi say ya papa, but it doesn't mean say birth certificate no anya papa. So the question I put to them was this: you have the power and the evidential flexibility rules to test the evidence at the outset. Tama nipa no din application by no. Oye decision, you know. You had the power to call for interview. You had the power to do your checks. You had the power to do everything. You had the power to give the person minded to refuse notice so that they can clarify matters for you. When you know why here, nipa no baby do hey afi what is say. So what are you trying to tell us? The kika ni nyina abom no e de koye no omo ma omo nsa so etwe break. And there am no say akwala no ne saka ne document ni nyina omo gi ni nyina one ne maame enati. But as part of the investigation, social way for echo akwala omo ko fie ho echo check say no kre say akwala no ti ho a no kre say parent no a no kre say na ekoso no sa Until then, Hano Yebesua a film. It tells us that the agencies collaborate, and some collaboration, is to gather information. Say HMRC, say social service, say home office, say police. They are national agencies, so they collaborate. So in this case, border force for any social welfare for or service for, they were collaborating. That particular council, no, ebemu. So I was dealing with them, and the conclusion was that they couldn't find anything. So I even told the case workers, as part of my argument, said, these people have done what they have to do. There's nothing there. Your argument in the birth certificate, and no correct. But your argument in the birth certificate, and your papa. Who feel say, Unjindia, Kobisa, a noa or issue birth certificate, Yes, it is your case to prove, and therefore the burden is on you to provide that evidence. But at the same time, the person who alleges must also prove a case. And so they also have a duty to show, say, we did this and we found this out. So we put all this together and challenge them on a point of law, not a marching break.
Sir. Last man, and no much break. So now okay, mystery because it's their duty to prove say near all can in no crack. And I didn't so call baby, I make quite a best set no Ubeko and the house and genuine birth certificate number yeah. And our face when it comes to the social services going to investigate the house that the child was living now. Ampa na crown and mammy and papa tin be and mammy aban and papa dika ban sisia or more or non so eba be home. Ain't no of course, ain't na ye can say wasem net say Fako because lawyers no more they know how to deal with the law. So one dear no. Ain't Omatra and lawyers Asmah ye very successful application ama ene aklano yensaka. Na niami ubi can say social service way in kromo. Omu bisa say are they really effective? Mr. Mo, yen krom nneɛma bebree yɛ adwuma. Ɛyɛ a yɛn change yɛn mindset kakra. Nneɛma bebree yɛ adwuma pɛpɛɛpɛ ba because sɛ yɛwɔ daa negative mindset sɛ biribi a nyɛ adwuma biribi a nyɛ adwuma bi nti ɛma yɛnhu the right source a yɛbɛ approach yi. Yɛwɔ child protection wɔ yɛn kurom Ghana. Yɛwɔ all these agencies ɛwɔ hɔnom a they cater for children. Enti no men tena se na uma asɛm no enjija ansa na watu anamo. Unyanya that decision na bomode akohu lawyers they will do it successfully at the amount. Enti lawyers ma ye beda ase ye koso de minim se wonwie ye de enti koso sisi ase koba ne se okunu no nso a sham marriages na no ye nkan no ene ye nhwe children side of say question bi ba na ye bia no be reflecting that area there ene me gidi say obetumi ama ye moaye kakra but ye go so a ye tie unti pacho koso ne ye hwe say uwie a ye question say wono ne mfa tutu dwa ema pacho
Yo, me that's bebree. Ebi so a na akwala no beduye no, ye hwe n'anim. Na ye hwe ne age no a ebo ebura. Ebura means opposite.
that's it.
So this is personal opinion because we all have different makeup.
Yes.
Our body makeups are different. Obi ye penny, oluko akwala. Obi ye akwala, oluko penny. So you cannot use your prejudice to conclude that I am old or young. How do you prove my age? Birth certificate, passport.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you are telling me, say, you have evidence to suggest, say, my birth certificate, date na was so now wouldn't that no is different from new one or no. Then I should be able to explain why the contradiction. Say, a mistake na akoba, and I said, then in akoba. Nti bia na ya hwa akwala na enim na ya say oh akwala yi even though ya akwala de ba yesu si so onye akwala sa nti ejina so a cancel na say refuse so na interview no
Okay.
na ye ko interview no na wakototo apapa so and then they conclude say oh ye bisa enum asem no or can say and therefore the conclusion is say enti sa And I
Now,
say, Bisa, yeah.
where the Mr. Mincha, no, me obetwaso, betwaso. Say no, akola no, at what age na any say ye interview akola na say from 0 up to 18 no, ye wo ho kwan say ye to me interview akola because sometimes those akola no, sometimes they even panic and I say they get confused because when you start bombarding them na, oh papa ni, are you sure so papa confused say what are they trying to say? But at what age na was say ye interview akwara na say any say ye interview akwara na afi no atwa so ama mpacho.
Case bi wɔ hɔ a
Mhm.
I used to when it comes to children's proceedings
Okay.
within the 1989 Children Act.
Mhm.
Your friend the case of Gillick.
Okay.
It's your friend be Gillick competence.
Mhm.
Gillick competence and say akwala otumi express ne ho. Otumi hu nia ɔka ɔte nia ɔka nase.
Okay.
A yɛn kan hye nano.
Okay.
Age of 13, 14, 15, you are Gillick competent.
Right. Okay.
So akwala ne 13 na yebetumi atwetwe nano. Akwala only 13 aya na yɛden sɛ wobɛtumi atwetwe nano because ebi a ɛbɛkɔ akɔyɛ leading questions
Yes. Mhm.
instead of questions wopɛ answers efi nipa akwala no ɛhɔ.
Mhm.
So it's a careful approach. It's a
Okay.
very subtle point. When do
Right.
we interview the child? But if the child is within the Gillick competence, the child can be interviewed.
Okay. Yeah. Me da sempacho afi obetimi atwa baby a me twa wa no. Sorry.
Nti sɛ na meka no sɛ wahwɛ m'anim na wo se m'anyini sen me age na me se medi no. And on that basis, no, we hear me interview. Why hear me interview? Now, for whatever reason, no, manu akɔ. Question is, what triggered that anofum no? Is it because mente brofo, enti ubisa me brofo a, udi brofo kasa na ibisa mo asama manti asye, enti ubisa me water, and I meti asye say food. Enti the answer to that question no, was based on my understanding of food. That means I'm not giving you answer based on the question I would demand. No, it's
Yes.
how I understood the question because of brofona menteno. Was I giving interpreter? If yes or no, it's a matter for consideration. What is the circumstance of the interview? How long did it take? The atmosphere, the tension. Somebody who has just arrived, traveling 6 hours, even quiet transit 9 hours, 12 hours. What baby do? Now all of a sudden, what they saw asɛm yɛ ahyia no na wode no akɔhyɛ cage mu na woyɛ an interview. Hobbies, the adrenaline will trigger confusion ɛwɔ nipa no adwene mu. Sɛ ɛbɛyɛ possible sɛ n'ano bɛfomfom. But no nkyerɛ sɛ nea ogyina so a ɔde baeɛ no ɛnyɛ nokorɛ. Nti lawyer bɛ mu a we take all this into consideration. We also request for what we call contemporaneous evidence or record. Contemporary record, original record no we take here no time or to no. They have to write a note. And where possible, they have to put it together on audio record. What they don't do is to record. So all they do is to type it or write it out, handwritten, question and answer. So it might be said your kind no, and no ni nipa no try no, different. Say different there. How do you say now wo can you correct? Na nea me can no wrong. So we want to have the recorded version. If you don't have the recorded version, we are relying on the contemporaneous written evidence or the note. If the contemporaneous written evidence or note is rebuttable, then the applicant will rebut it. And if it is rebutted, then so be it. Backed by the law, we should be able to win the case for that child.
Okay, let's just say, send a watch no, Sarah. Na me who say questions be poppy up, but ye bet maybe sa enche bia. Lawyers must say, I watch it, Musenia, Nyoma, to me lead it to say ye bet cancel, and I think so no, say a canceller. Nea or say we na ubetumi a reverse sa cancellation ni nyina no wankasa dependent person no untumi enye because wono unhu law no kwan a obefa so a would betumi ekwatia sa cancellation no nti no tise wo de ama lawyer na ono a obetumi agina mrane so na ode etumi atwitwa de agye wo no nti mesre na bomode akohu lawyers see ya no yeah, my bedu airport yeah cancel me way watch nyoma nkete a obetumi e dia ejina so na waye se eba ne se embia ye cancel wo na omo mfa ma ono wo unsa nka lawyer ana se eba ne sa ye ma wakonya se obetumi afre lawyer bi ana nti se embia wanya sa akonya na yesi ene ye ne wo san akwa ubeden akwa akokun sa ntokwa ifrifie e de aba ana se eba ne se ohona ebia na yakwa detain wa ye ma wakwenya se ubetumi afra na se wanka so ubetumi a request se no me frɛ me lawyer say ni say na onhwɛ asɛm ne ma me mpatcho sa de no nkrofo bebre nim se owo ho kwan se so ya na so ni ho kwan ubetumi a kyerɛ ye bibi kakra e wo honom amaya na.
Everybody has the right to legal representation.
Good.
So it's a matter of choice.
Okay.
Advice me the mama and it's yes me the mao well there's a stand a lawyer can the advice here advice me the mama ho I be a wo fire be boa no say so me na me be do airport na bibi ekwesi a right away I will consult a lawyer.
Good.
Once you call the lawyer will get will contact the border force. Either say Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, Birmingham, wherever, we get in touch with them and tell them that we have our client mandate, but we need a mandate from the client.
Right.
Already, detaining no. So there was one case that a weekend.
Okay.
So they got in touch with me weekend, Saturday. The Saturday now I was dealing with them. Email.
Okay.
So they says, okay, because it's a weekend, they cannot really do much. So as I said, then they have to grant my client bail. Unfortunately, I'm in Sanka where yet a friend say there will be a letter of authority.
Oh, okay.
What power does the legal rep have? Or what to be able to act on your behalf? When there's a woman of power, no, and I said to me, no.
Right.
You need the letter of authority. Until I had to then go to the office a Saturday, prepare the letter of authority, send it to the border officer. They gave it to the client for client to sign. Then I have the client authority. Then everything I had then sent to them, they were able to engage.
Right.
And that was so Monday, Tuesday, they released the client. And not buy out. They granted Secretary of State bail. And not buy it. So that I had to then deal with them after that. We had to go through admin review. The difference between admin review and judicial review is this.
Review, okay.
Admin review, they say, now why you know, and fa a kwemu.
Okay.
What is a crime? A crime is the policy, procedure, the law. So that's why you know fa kwemu. We say there is procedural impropriety. If there's procedural impropriety, you have to remedy it by correcting yourself.
Okay.
So I will give you back to you and tell you, say, but what can I say? What you say? So please fix it.
Correct
That
yourself.
Is admin review. So one, I will general correct what dear. Say nipa one or review, and I say nipa for never review. Either way, you're the same organization. Why you mistake no? Or no review.
Okay.
Say organization na your home office no omo review no make say the session is maintained and we are correct, and so whatever we said stance there. Then a public officer has made a mistake.
Okay.
So if a public officer makes a mistake and you still think, say, they have not followed the law, you have to take it to court for court to
Okay.
remedy that. And that is called judicial review.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
difference. Admin review, nipa no a woni na enya no ono na oba correct.
Okay.
Na nipa no a woni na enya na o si debi no, on what basis na oba can say afi dem ati ase unless you have a very strong evidence and legal argument
That's correct.
to put them on the spot.
Mm.
Then what happens? Someone says they could pay court, they have no leg to stand on, so they will pull out because they know it will go.
So is it you who request for judicial review and I say public officer now involved? No, because say no. Say if they are not taking the judicial review, and when they request is our judicial review.
So admin review every year. Judicial review. Okay, so we admin review now. They will have to make a decision to say we have maintained the cancellation or refusal. Then you tell them, say, what you have done is inconsistent with the existing provisions of the law or your own policy. And because of this, I'm putting you on notice that I'm moving further. Moving further to where? To court. We call that pre-action protocol.
Okay.
Letter before action.
Okay.
Into what they call ABR, they will reconsider. But yeah, no more so they will still say no. From there, you have 90 days. From time now, Mama, admin review decision, 90 days to go to court for judicial review. You have to make the application. Lawyer now represent the client. You have to make the application to court for the judicial review at the end. So you go to court, upper tribunal. They will see send now they bano in so will be why your bundle come on. What the command one check say what they buy within time no on be silly ya now they come opponent na ye fake for me say some can some dey call into the work confirmation in here. Then they are quick kwehia wo ho. Judge no bet na so now we making a decision without you coming to court, say oral hearing. Okay. Say they agree with Fekesim for, and I said they disagree. Someone disagree there, then you have won. Someone agree there, case continues. Then you can ask for it to be orally heard. Then you go to the next level, another application for oral hearing. It is cost, it is money, it is draining. Yes. But is it worth fighting? Yes. It's about also incriminating sometimes. Yes. And the question is, say Kobasa Ebeko oral hearing now, do you have the tenacity to speak?
Yes.
To support your own cause. Lawyer the papers argument, you know. Barrister ever argue law number now one can sound swear.
Yes.
So why when you send the woman, then I would of course, we be too hopeful. But since it's so there, of course, we be winning. Into a word to the wise, when you get to that point, it's always enough.
Sa. Lawyer Asmah wacheche mu yi. Yeah, we dem nya o teacher our classroom ka be pepa. Wacheche mu ma na ato asomu yi. Na ne okeka ne nyina no me nua adofo a utie mi. Wakaso ahoden entumi nyo ti se lawyer eka ho. Da eka ho na obecheche na fe wo nso wakokon but answer na ebedu no me gidi say omo ankasa ombeje mu because omo no omo ni evidence no wo na o say wo the evidence no e de kochro mo last ma ye beda asiye enkomo ne ye de na nso no say e ma akwanya na etiefo nso emfa omo de embra me hu say question bi apopopo ba ko bi e obisa because o say please based on the topic can eneno or say when bringing a child legally who has entry clearance should maybe me share no me share Facebook into no me can say based on the topics today no when bringing a child legally who has entry clearance, should the following document be carried in hand to avoid cancellation due to relationship? Okay. Internet just or say, menka or say child birth certificate, DNA if you have it, progressive photos, child's head records, child custody order if you have any, consent letter from other parents where applicable. Na kyerɛ sɛ sɛ wo wayɛ yɛn nua bɛrima Nana Etua Nyame nhyira wo, ɔse sɛ wayɛ application bi say a woba as dependent no anaasɛ based on what we are discussing now, or say wo a woba as kwalaa no nneɛma a ɔde abobɔ ɔbɔ so wokitakita ne nyinaa na ɔde ka wo ho na ɔmfa mbra in case na obi ba bɛka sɛ daabi ɔba bɛkansa na yɛ sɛ ɔhɔ na mpetempetem hɔ na wɔayi akyerɛ no hwɛ nipa na wo se enye me maame no hwɛ me ne ne DNA nyina 99.999%. Nipa na wo ka se wunji me best set ni ndi no enti mbia DNA be kire ana se other document ne be kire Asmah e wo se wo yesa se wo twu kwan a
yo na e wo mini se yenua enim se document a wabobɔ so nyina no ɔde akodada yensa
sa
document abobɔ so nyina no ɔde akɔ embassy hɔ ɔde akɔ tama ɔkɔbɔ ne nsa no ide se ɔno anse no upload ye ana se ɔmo no ɔde kɔe na ɔmo scan ye ekodada, so they have it.
Yes.
Please, let's take note here. The bi a wo dey call Accra and that's a country bi a wo your application bi a ɔmo scan ye bia no ɛda ɔmo anim ɛwɔ Heathrow Airport and that's a Gatwick Airport ubedu a man say the country they don't have it. They have it. That's what they can tell you. Say you said this, and you are now saying this. They have the application form. They have all your documents, so you don't have to carry them. Because the fact that you are carrying them doesn't make it say your mommy and I say your papa. That's not the argument.
Okay.
The argument is say they don't believe say you're genuine. So you don't have to carry those things. All you have is your passport. That's all you have to carry. Other documents, fine. When push comes to shove, other documents you can always, if they want, they have it already anyway. What they may ask of you is other corroborative evidence to suggest, say oh my parent, do you have any historical or progressive family photos? You don't have to carry them, but when they need it and you have it, you can produce it to them at any time.
And no, I don't know. You can produce to them at any time. And yeah, no crack. Do what and share them here. I don't know. I know now the choir application, so they have it already, like you said. No, yeah, need to be you feel some more border force. No, money near quarters or more papa check in 10 and pim one hours if you know me the choir. No, so cross check. But I don't know lawyer. I catch and I no money. But who so say the
Now, wait a minute. Let me check in. For
okay.
that very questionnaire by
Okay.
So somebody will say somebody, if I carry them, it will be good for my case. It will rather undermine your case because we are already before forever.
Okay.
So don't carry those things. Don't carry them. So we here or maybe so. Now what more later. But so back. Now at that point you are under pressure. Maybe say some questions for one. And then you'll be in our course and that's one of our course problem.
Okay.
So don't carry anything that you don't have to carry. The amount of visa, about passport, who could our passport, where we do airport, who could our boarding pass. Yeah, be so if you ever. That's the question. Any questions I ever be sound should be something you should know already.
Already.
Yeah, if you know call phone, so now we could be phone now we check it. That's why we has it. That is creative. Accounting, can I say a creative accounting?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like you are making it up. It has to be natural.
And only
where is your mom? My mom is at this address. Is your mom coming to pick you up? Yes or no? She's going to work. But she says that my brother or my uncle will come or a friend will come. Where is the friend? The friend is at arrival. Oh, all right. Do you have the telephone number? I don't have the telephone number, It was on my phone. My phone battery is dead, so I don't remember.
That's
Whatever you say, it is the question they ask you and your answer to them. And if they
mm,
haven't asked you a question, don't rush to tell them anything. And if they haven't asked you anything
don't
specific,
say
don't give
anything.
them something specific. And go straight to the point. See, we have open-ended questions and
Uh-huh.
close-ended questions. If they ask you close question, give close answer. Yes,
Mhm.
no. If they ask you open, where did you come from? Then you tell them where you come from. I took off from Accra
Mhm.
through Dubai on this aircraft and I
Mhm.
arrived here. Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
like we're ticket in crown yenya. We know konya bi and now we say a check and the more information omejina so ebisa more questions.
Last of Matthias, yeah, yes, yeah, penchiremu. Nanchiremu ni bi wɔ hɔ a na obeto nsɔhwɛ mu. Enti ɛyɛ na yɛ nkrɔfo ne ba na yɛ tete ɔmo senior ɔmo comport ɔmo ho de bizebize ɔmo nsɛm a some of these things ebi no ɛnkɔkyerɛ ne ɔmo ebi mu a yɛmbisa awo. Si yɛmbisa awo a ɛnkɔka ɛyɛ a ne bi mu yɛ tu no na ɛyɛ ɔmo sɛ deɛ na edi ɔmo akyi a sɛ ɔmo yɛ teachers so yɛnim yɛbisa question a wobɛka yes ne no a na afei na ɔka ɔbɛkyerɛ daabi ɛna lawyer aka no ka sɛnea ɛteɛ yo nana ɛsaa de another one say Department of Social Welfare Services in Ghana works effectively as in the UK in terms except financial support for families and no I like this madam asisi a me bie telephone lines no e de atomo akwenya ubetumi bisa me nuamba Abigail Semensa, thank you so much for the question be abeto board no so na menka ne say good morning, thank you very much for the work you are doing. Please, if I want to bring my 4 kids and husband, do I need to rent the house before I apply and add proof? Because I'm staying in a staff bungalow now, but intend to move out once their visa is in. Lawyer Asmah, we know yaka ho
Okay.
ase na me di say
So the question takes us to the 1985 Housing Act,
mhm
Part X, and that's a 10 no. Na ɔse beebi a ɔte no ɔno nko ara na ɛsɛ sɛ ɔtena hɔ ba ɔpɛ
mhm
sɛ ɔkɔfa ebusua no ɛba nti ɔnyɛ den ɔnkɔ rente anaasɛ ɔntwɛn ɔmo ba a. That's the
mhm
gist of the question. Right. You have two options.
mhm
You can go and rent
mhm
and wait for them to come in, but you'll be paying the rent
yes
whether they come or they don't, because you'll be bound by the terms and conditions of the tenancy.
it's true.
So what can I do? You discuss with the landlord that
Mhm,
I intend to bring my family
mhm,
and we need X number of, and so 4 children, I don't know the ages. Only
mhm,
nukunu aya 1 room.
mhm,
In Kwalano, I don't know the ages, but we know say up to 13 years no, they can share a room if they are the same sex.
mhm,
Opposite sex, they can't. So I
mhm,
don't know. So if you only here 3 bedroom and it's a 2 bedroom and it's a 4,
mhm,
whatever. Then you tell the landlord that I need this, but the purpose is for that, and therefore I want to go into agreement in principle. Agreement in principle. So
mhm,
that I will meet a condition subsequent.
mhm,
Condition subsequent.
mhm.
Condition subsequent is the condition that will be met later. What
Okay.
it means is that sememano ni ebusuafo no omu bedu a, I will
Mhm,
confirm the agreement. So
mhm,
I'm not bound by the principle agreement in principle. That is a safer way to avoid financial loss, just
mhm.
in case it doesn't go the way you want.
Wanted. Okay. Yo, Lasma. Yeah, that's it. The numbers to call in and ask your question is 02 me producer the to 0208 123 1016 and 073 9920 8468. Ubetumi nso the WhatsApp message de aba na ubetumi and voice note ttt na metumi abo ama lawyer na etie na ya ma answer. Obi the question aba e WhatsApp ne so. Mo de ba we ne so a ebe me de numbers na WhatsApp na say Facebook ebe me de pa. I say, good morning, Manye lawyer. One, please, I'm a dependent and switching to care visa. Please, what are the main requirements that's document inside UK? And then two, my partner on student visa will be switching to me as a dependent. What document does he need to switch to me as a dependent inside UK? Adeɛ wei ya ka ho asɛm a, but lawyer, yɛmbɔ ne tiatia ɛmfa me ma me nua a webisa question na
I think
ɔtie.
the question is a little ambiguous. I want
Yes.
to know nipa now we also person switching on one say you den one can
Na senior organist now no ye dependent of a student. Ni
right.
currently a student na say no switch it to skill worker care
Right.
to bisa. Yes.
Okay. So the policy allows for on one or your student dependent to
Mhm.
switch to care skilled worker
Mhm.
migrant.
Sir.
So
Mhm.
we now come to what do I need if I'm applying in the UK to switch from one category of visa to
Mhm.
skilled worker. You need to
Yeah.
show that you have employment.
Mhm.
You have to show that the employer has given you sponsorship, and so
Mhm.
you have your COS. You
Yes.
have to show that you meet the maintenance if the
Mhm.
employer has not agreed to
Mhm.
sponsor the maintenance. If you
Mhm.
just US no so maybe I'll say maintenance, yes, no. Employer can know you have to show your own maintenance. Or can
Maintenance.
yes, there you are okay. So can
Mhm.
know there you have to show the maintenance 28 days clause and also bank statement and stuff. You have to
Mhm.
show that a human will require child protection and
Mhm.
safeguarding um, matters. So you have
Mhm.
to go through clearance. We by
Mhm.
maybe I will police clearance, but say what we do, they say we
Mhm.
DBS.
Sir. Mhm.
Then English language at the
Mhm.
appropriate level. So with a
Yes.
degree or had there, you are okay. So with a
Mhm.
degree or amanonia, so we actors comparability. Yes,
Mhm.
idea. As I said, your friend is saying normal
B1.
celt B1 and then you can hono.
Mhm.
Now the
Yo.
application atum.
So tie sɛ wopɛ English na bɔ mmɔden abɛhu me mɛtumi ama wo nteteɛ no wakɔ akɔtwerɛ but wo partner ne deɛ a ɔyɛ student no wei deɛ mema lawyer Asmah nkasa koraa mmerɛ no sɛ ɔnwie school ne deɛ a I'm afraid ɔno deɛ ɔntumi nswitchi wɔ kwan bia so the best way a ɔbɛtumi aswitch ne sɛ either sɛ ɔbɛkɔ fie na wɔaplan it ne mu anim yɛyɛ ade ama no ansa na 11th of March no aso lawyer Asmah mpatwɔ metwa anaasɛ mentwaeɛ.
Um, I will give my answer with caution.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will say
Yes or no?
these are some of the questions are
Uh-huh.
yes or no.
Yes, that
We just give you a point.
okay.
Now the reason is so okofia you name how long waba abɛhyɛ mu
Uh-huh.
commit any offense.
Okay.
Until
Mm.
the first all corner wakɔyɛ with fiaba
Mm-hmm.
any issue with immigration offenses and I say any other offense that will
Wait.
trigger suitability point, and
Okay.
suitability is part of the requirement. Yeah,
Sa.
so the what we say is say you are right provided the person has weighed him or herself, understood him or her own his or her own circumstance. Now we
Okay.
make a decision say the kofia ebeboa me and I say metinemu na me ya ebeboa me.
Okay. Last my dasi. Odo for wa ma so pacho kasa from me ente onka.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mika free learn Heathrow around Heathrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's you.
Lawyer ne ye tamasene
Mm.
to my pamo ye at the boy and to educators they be.
You're welcome.
Pacho lawyer my question is me application ma me ba.
Right.
Now initially no mo refuse to application no.
Mm-hmm.
Now mo refuse to no me appeal. An appeal no Marini case, like almost Marini case, but it's been over 3 months now, over 3 months now. But still no almost yet almost free and my own fan passport on coin visa no. And I'm still waiting.
Why you worried,
in this
Kakra?
case, then my worried.
Yo, last one for choten in Candia.
But in Kapa 3 months, they would in chair crowd, will be there 2 years, will be there 1 year. And the 3 months, they would the queue no more. Why? These days, Nkrofati appeal last year until we are winning a lot of appeals. You can imagine, say 1 million appeals in a more decide they say or mobile friend conference or for passport in Mra. Who dear na 3 months no? Is it number 1 or number 1 the 1 million?
In do baby.
So but if Philly say you don't have the patience to keep waiting, email them to follow up. Why? Say are there no decision no abba. Decision by no more challenge 28 days no etwom nti ekwasan na tie ne ombeka.
Yo, many abema. Yes, I want to me a cohun lawyers no momboa. Why?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yo,
But now, please let me point this out.
Okay.
Sometimes we have to be objective and clearer with the public.
Okay.
For example, any question here by a very good question. The answer we give to our brother will suggest that we have the power to change things.
Right.
But it is not in our hands to tell the Home Office, we're friend pay and then search now. What we do is we keep telling them, Adenache. But Meiji, ena me chinchen so one or one holding. Enti, she say yes, obetuna by your but yen to me guys say buy lawyer and change next week no ne sabekan because we buy lawyer ho. We are not the Home Office, but we work with them. And what we now know is there are a lot of cases are a court sir. Enti Mr. say yebenya abotre na ya ase say once we win in there a cha cra baba. Let's manage the expectation. Okay, let's manage this. That's all I will say. Let's manage the expectation, but we'll continue to push them to do what they have to do. But a check.
Yo, lawyer, yatia said, and I told the be a brofono to inquire from the Home Office. No, you said, do na ya no more who the technical words, especially where you pre-action protocol requirement, and I say brofona. Also, outro na Home Office into language na say no. Do na ya ye I keep referring you. Oh, ni mo akohulo mo no mo tro or no try there na. Now Home Office ne can him say, hey, I'm dealing with somebody who understands and knows the law. But then be a ukotron to say utro girlfriend be letter. One shot, ye few and on name me dear not of our muscle. My right.
Good morning, Manye.
Good morning.
Lawyer Asmah. You know, I need a juma family.
Yeah, that's it.
But your question where for Madam could be an EU citizen, but when you're indefinite recently, like less than a month ago.
Okay.
And then she's pregnant. We're going to banner somewhere next month. But a person registered the banner, a person or British passport, a man a banner. But someone told us that. Also, spent a whole year after the indefinite, and summer when you have British passport and man a banner. So we wanted to find out if that is the case. And I said, as soon as I work, I'm a bit my British passport and man. That's it.
You. Last.
When you about
yeah, na.
When you about
Pacha me waha.
When I would do about Facebook na question.
Right. Yes.
But now what about Facebook no we can say pre-settled. And yes, sir. A pre-settled and as settled in any pan war. Article. Right. I'm saying you know na homa no ati.
Na homa na article intino.
Let me answer.
So bet me asa afre bioma. You bet me ama omoaye na I'm say na. Yeah, hello also.
Hello.
Aha, na lawyer need bisa wasem nti no what in the question no?
But that's what I say our indefinite.
Or no or indefinite?
No indefinite. So EU or indefinite.
Okay, lawyer, how to me answer no
Yo, all right. The time me say now what pre-settled. Pre-settled is different from settled. Into na maybe say is it the same person? But say what confirm say you settled there. And Brandon say yawo akwala ewe UK. Na time yawo akwala no o maame anase o papa a British citizen anase okuta indefinite leave to remain there. Sa akwala no yawo nato ahindie mu me fa ne sa.
Okay. Yes.
Into a citizen by default under section 1 of the British Nationality Act no. Into sa akwala no ya ebe say obeye the passport no amano because tama ya wono no na say but say you pre-settled no what dia ya wono no o ma no pre-settled into so ma me benya settled that as a say register no before you can do the passport so the man person me say you settled and I say pre-settled
and our can say so was settled no but just say na
I try or settled.
I was settled say when you moye na wi
I try did that myself.
Yes,
so she doesn't have to wait 1 year after the settled no
sanity.
Okay, and made after car.
Yes, that's it. So what's your program, Nadia?
Oh yes.
Yo, mommy, that's it. Yo, yamrene ya bit na ya wo lawyer Anne Annie wo ha no so bema ye obecheche mu wo potokasa mu e de amaye na say question bi by me hwe eno quickly I say good morning Nana Bob the question bi I say good morning Manye and lawyer I say please thank you very much oh maybe what thank you for the good work please are you going to read WhatsApp text WhatsApp text bem say ebia ba me hwe maybe WhatsApp text no ya na bebre but ma kan bia but menhwe me wo ba ku bi so okay I say good morning please how okay please how long does family route visa inside the UK? I have applied and it's 7 months and I haven't received any response yet. Thanks. And now Osadi another one. So my first one answer. Or say how long does it take? Say we have family route visa no. Need there why any 7 months they still are and by lawyers ma waiting time na
standard time standard applications no waiting time no first na 6 months upon 9 months it's almost 12 months.
Okay, yo, and I mention last one. I am ready call. Yeah, so say good morning, please. Can my daughter who just came to the UK with visit visa go to school? She's 13 years, and I'm also on the 2.5 half year, and I apply for her to stay in the UK. Yeah, bro, for no.
Why apply say? Why apply say on stay and now say because that bit is not. But you see, mind you, let's look at the purpose of the child's arrival or visit. So call visitor. So I mess up or school. One mess up visit is visit. You finish and go back. Maybe what they have done, they said they have done application for leave outside the rules. And to leave outside the rules means that you don't meet any of the rules because when you're a visitor, you cannot switch.
Yes.
But based on the circumstance, there's nobody at home, and therefore that's going to trigger serious and compelling family circumstances.
Okay.
If the child is to be sent back, and so on and so forth. And I said, I don't know the reason, but if the reason is tenable, they have maybe applied, say, the child should be considered for further extension based on leave outside the rules. Meaning specific requests are make here. And on that basis, my answer will be general.
Okay.
And I will say, so why your application there on chain kwesita ma ebaba. So person akola no school But me not go school, I could try say, oh, no. Why? So the
Yeah,
one you know, you don't lose anything.
yes, because what the know quite there are certain documentation omu bisa ansana oma accept akwala no into school na afin so oye 13 years na just say baby or be kono your application different types we are in house been so from overseas into ne nyina no e wo ho nhihye a ye de ato ho na omu behwe ansana omaji akwala no e de atom in as much as omu protecting kwala say kwala at that age they should be in school no your rules govern such applications. Nti no, ma me just hwehwemu anase ma yenhu the type of way no o visa application mo ye na ebetumi aboa akwala no na wetumi akọ school. Yo, me ma akonya lawyer and akonya na onfa the English version of the aspect na ansana ye de dwumedie na ba wiye.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you all. So, today I'll just be providing a short summary in English. So, the topic for today was how to successfully reverse a cancellation of a child dependent entry clearance. So, when we talk about, a child dependent visa, it's essentially where a child or the child's parents have put in an application for the child to join them in the UK. So in that case, the child will be, under the age of 18, and if they are granted that visa, they'll be able to join their parents in the UK. So when we talk about dependents, we are talking about anyone who, is dependent on the person who has stay in the UK. So your dependent could be your child, your stepchildren, your adopted children or your spouses, anyone who you provide for and you meet their essential needs. So, for example, the person is outside of the UK and you send them regularly money to cater for their, accommodation, to enable them to buy clothing, just everything that would come under their essential needs. So today, in particular, we looked at children who are joining skilled workers, parents in the UK. So we looked at the policy that was introduced on the 23rd of January 2024, which is for Home Office staff. And in part 9 of that policy, you can see grounds for cancellation. So the first ground would be if the applicant is, for example, subject to a deportation order. So that's one ground for cancellation. Second of all, if the applicant is, for example, subject or they have served in prison for a time of 12 months, or if they have done anything that would, count them as not having abided to the law, so under the suitability grounds. And then if they have, for example, overstayed, that too would be taken into consideration. And lastly, their leave can be cancelled if they have, provided false representation. So that's the main thing that we looked at today. For example, they have provided false information, false documentation, for example, a false COS or birth certificate or bank statements. So how would we go about, reversing a cancellation? And Lawyer Charles provided an example, a case that he dealt with, which was successful. So in this case, a father and mother, wanted to bring in their child into the UK. However, the Home Office had an issue with the relationship, so they were not satisfied that, indeed the child was their real child. So they said that the birth certificate was fake. So we went for administrative review, whereby we challenged the decision. So we put across our case in a Section 120 notice, where we put our case across, and we basically asked the parties to provide a letter to confirm that the birth certificates were genuine. So we requested for a letter by the birth and death registry, verifying and confirming that the birth certificate was, and is genuine. And so in that case, the Home Office, they accepted our argument. And so it's important that if you're dealing with such a case where, your leave is being cancelled, that you are able to put across your statement well, or your point of view well. So if, it might be best to go for solicitors who can do that properly. And lastly, as Lawyer Charles said, I mean, the burden of proof, first of all, is on the Home Office to prove that what they're saying is correct. But at the same time, the burden of proof will also fall on the applicant to challenge the point of law. And if, the Home Office, reads your statement and they do not agree with it, then the matter can go to court. So that's where administrative review would come in, where the case would go to the Apathy Tribunal. It would first be heard on paper. And if, the judge agrees with the Home Office, then the next stage would be that it would be heard in person, which means that the applicants and the parents, they can attend the hearing alongside barristers, and then they can, put the case across. So that's just a quick summary for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawyer Annie. Thank you for that explanation. Mehuso Biafra na yewie actually as a matter of fact, na mpese mefa, but you're on it. So let's hear from you quickly before we bring the curtains to a close. Mpacho hwana ekasa na yetio.
Lawyer Asmah, Michelle. But I think they can say.
Yo, koso. Baby, I want no nice for her.
But the question is, lawyer, up to a fan for a year. But maybe EU dependent. May indefinite. And besides, who said, besides, because I'm a year in Mana, so 29,000 now, Moka wants to say, but the key effect, I think it will go in. Then also encourage me to become one of the 20,000
Noa, Omoka say, Banisa, and Noa, now lawyers ma be before for how
I'm patron one,
no fashion can be why.
Okay, the phone name quite not do
Patcho,
for them 29,000.
almost say no, why?
But you see, I mean, at the end of the day, since the officers are in fact, I don't think so. We didn't collaborate, but over a creative problem. I'm out when you're buying. Maybe I will bad down there. So I think a reasonable number. Why?
Yo, what yes, Isaac, what yes. Now, yeah, last one. So, not just so being so beside say, increment na ban or see a bear affected child skilled worker application from Ghana. Now, I don't know. See, please, would the increment affect the child skilled worker application from Ghana? Child skilled worker.
Increment, IHS, I don't know, boss man.
I don't know, and now I see the increment, ban. It is in your state, you know.
Okay, reference is normally with health and care visas, because of the nature of some program, health surcharge waived.
Okay.
We share application. We share the number of years, 2-3 years, and I 370 something dollars. No, I'm 5 years, about 700 and something dollars. It's more just a visa fee.
Yes.
Why? And the IHS and cancer, health and care skilled workers, but other skilled worker route in the year, health and care, but IHS, why?
Okay. Yo, last my M say a hat na di dwumedie no ebeba ewie ye mre ne kokra. Etiefo na hwefo nyame adomochna. The community and the law no ebeba, so we have a very powerful topic to discuss. And I believe say we join here ubenya uchefa it will make a date with us. Na answer na yebe kokra lawyers ma the last message cry betwa to e mind na afide. Ya sorry and as to last ma yiti then na odi ja ye ne mfa hye nkutoku ano.
Yo, it's here for for and then so yeah, that will be our say when you're brain now yet the ebedu in so. Now you can say Oba ebedu airport no you cancel the visa that should not be the end of the world. For modern now get in touch. The beboa ema kwala no edi kan akofie da eto aso no wenya nia esese onya. Na mbom eye adwuma. Adwuma ne se ye no be ye adwuma na ye nyoma bi efi ho na ye de atoto ho na ye de mra no anya ye nim no atoto ho na ya mafikasimfo ehu se ne omo ye no omo anye ne yie. So omo ama omo nsa so abanse so omo adwen dia na de kwowie court ewo judicial review. But ye kan nyina ne se omo otumi se so omo ma visa wo ukromu a na obedu airport ewa ha omo otumi se ombe kwahye o na se omo ye satisfied a omo cancel o visa no date omo de cancel no, that is the date of more or less refusal, and that is the date SSI will start administrative review within 14 days because we krum hadada. But because woba parent one, you have family life as well, so your article 8 is also intact. And also a boa was a quine so you know be collaborate near making sure say no no yenya near the account evidence no near the akoma the kesim for nti kan nia wo de your application nyina no wo be bo modern say wo de be ma lawyer no ene foforo a ye hia ye de be kan ho a lawyer no be kasa no and so wo de be kan ho na de akọ. But you have 10 days within which to provide the evidence after you have submitted the admin review application, and you have 14 days after the cancellation within which to submit the administrative review application. Administrative review is £80. So koba say we succeed here, I'm going to do £80 by my back, less small administrative fee. And koba sa and the because court there and the judicial review barrister bebem na yane omo akwachi. But the can name nyina say koba sa that should not be the end of the road for you. The reason why we have the law is to ensure that there is fairness and justice for everybody. And that is what we do at BWF Solicitors. We use the law to protect people like you whose rights are trampled upon. Shalom.
Yo, peace. Ne de asoso ama layers ma yeda si bebre ye say emre no call client twen wo. Se wo hia lawyers ma na wa hwe wo nsem ama wa no obetumi either consult BWF Solicitors omo number no ana say obetumi afre lawyer Asmah on 07947636037 obetumi afre no mesa boso biom 07947 636037 obetumi afre lawyer Asmah na kohuno obetumi ediwe kan na wasolve problems so nyamenti ebeye nti no meda obi bia oba so nyina meda say ayembia mentumi answer wo question na pacho enye bo apaye edemra emre na ye adwuma ochina community and the law ibetumi edi abaso na ebisa ma mediane manyeti say we need the program ayeye ho na we ni asode a mesro like the page bomodia like na love because we're in the month of love na so subscribe to our YouTube channel no na yentumi enkoye no nyamenka yina. Have a beautiful weekend and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced family law firm specializing in immigration and naturalization, as well as dispute resolution. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner with over 30 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stand for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity and inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance across all areas of UK and Ghana law. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Led by experienced senior partner Bernard Owusu, the team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with your immigration, naturalization, dispute resolution, family law, new wills and probate, Ghana law and practice needs. We are dedicated to providing solutions to our clients' problems. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, 7 Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Main office line 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line 07712 761 884.